Okay guys, what I want to talk about today is driving for dollars. Everybody wants to know how to find deals. This is one of the most basic, simple ways to do it. Driving for dollars. Now, what this means is you have an area you specialize in, like a certain neighborhood or a certain area of your town. And you go out and you study it. Okay, and you learn what rents are and you learn what values are and you just get familiarized with it over a little bit of time so that you can drive around the neighborhood and you can literally say, yeah, that house sits probably, if that's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, that'll probably rent for $950 or $1,000 or $800 or $1,200, whatever it is. And you know, this one over here is a little bigger and it's got a nicer lot and it's a better part of the neighborhood, and that one there will probably rent for $1,300. And the price of that one, that $1,300, would probably be around $275,000, and the price of this one over here, $900 rent, would probably be around, you know, $180,000 or whatever. You just learn this, okay, so that you can do very quick analysis, so that you know within a certain range very quickly. That gives you a big advantage because you're the local specialist, okay? Somebody from out of town that's going to come in there and try to, you know, be a big I buy house guy and whatever. You're going to be able to move quicker than they are, and you're going to have more confidence in your offer and what your basis is going to be in all these, whether or not you could pay more or not, and all those things. Okay, now that gives you an advantage. Okay, so having done that groundwork, because you got to do that no matter where you're operating. It's stupid to go out there and not know your market. It's stupid. It's like going and playing poker and not knowing what the hierarchy of the hands are. So that the people that are playing for you, with you, I mean, with real money, they'll say, oh, don't worry, I'll tell you when you win. Yeah, well, I don't play that way either. So you basically need to know your business, and that's part of learning your business. And it's easy to do. You can do it in your spare time. You can do it online. You go out, drive around, spend a few weekends, just put some time and effort in, maybe 10 hours total time over a 2 or 3 week period. You'll learn your marketplace, okay? Within good enough to operate. Then, you've identified this neighborhood, by the way, you know, based on a certain demographic of both the people and the housing, and whether they're, you know, predominantly owner-occupied types, or whether it's a high rental content, or just a general socioeconomic type level. You want to have a place where there's about 50% rentals, perhaps. You know, people use this ABC neighborhood crap to define them. Properties at A class, C class, D class properties. I don't get hung up on that. Just take it for what it is. You want to have a neighborhood where it's not a low income, you know, war zone. A D class, a lot of people classify, where you have gunshots, you got to worry about stuff, and it's just a, you know, the lowest common denominator of tenants that you're going to have, which is not where you want to operate. That's just not a profitable niche. Everything being equal, okay? Don't, you know. So you also probably don't want to work in $800,000, $900,000, and $1 million houses unless you are really confident about it and you have some kind of an edge. Okay, that's just very hard to get a cash flow where rents are going to be anywhere near, you know, creating a return on that kind of investment level. So, you know, understand that first things first. You got to learn your market. You got to define an area that you can specialize in, and then you want to define a certain segment of that marketplace in terms of value, rent, price, owner-occupant versus renters mix. Okay. Then you will just drive around the area. Okay, now this is just about as stupid simple as it gets. Now don't think you've invented this or that you're going to be the only one out there doing it and somehow you got a magical secret, you know, don't tell anybody, we're going to go out and we're going to find all the good deals off market. Well, don't think or act like that, because that would be Pollyanna. You know, stupid. However, you might be surprised. I mean, I did this in Cody, Wyoming. I'm not even looking for deals, I get so many. But I was in Cody, Wyoming here, which is 30 miles from my home. Well, I guess it's 2 or 3 months ago. And I got bored and I said, hey Andy, let's go, my wife, let's go drive through some neighborhoods that we don't normally drive through because they're just off the beaten path in that town. It's not on our dog runs where we're always driving through. So we went and drove through some of these, and I swear, we found like 3 very, very interesting properties in a residential single-family neighborhood in a matter of 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I think it was before a dentist appointment. We had an hour or something, so we drove around. And we go and there's different ways that we research these, and we'll get into all this at another time. But basically, you identify houses that there's something wrong with them. There's something that makes them stand out in the neighborhood. Usually it means they're vacant, they're run down, they just look like shit. They've got paint peeling, they got roof shingles falling off, grass is 3 feet high, got a big stack of newspapers stacked up on the front porch, or just any combination. And the implication being that would be abnormal for that particular neighborhood or block, because all the rest of them look good and this one looks bad. Okay, that should get your attention. Far from being a deal, don't even get carried away yet. Just take it like a professional. Okay, there's one possibility. And you're not going to know whether it's a prospect or a potential deal or even for sale or even could be had until you go to the next steps. But don't jump ahead of yourself. That's ridiculous. Okay? One step at a time. That's why it's a business. That's why it's a practice. That's why it's a profession. And that's why there's opportunity. Because most people just want to go from A to Z. I'm done. I want to do it in 10 minutes and go back and watch TV so I'm rich now, Well, it doesn't work that way. So and if it did, there wouldn't be any opportunity. So since most people are lazy and stupid and have false expectations like that, or ridiculous expectations of getting rich quick and not having to do any work and magically making money, that provides us an opportunity. Because people like us that are willing to act like grown-ups and actually say, my time is worth, I can either watch TV and my time's worth $0, or I can go do this and my time might be worth $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 an hour if I nail one, and I make $35,000 and it only took me 15 hours total time to find it, research it, and contract it. So you locked in a $30,000 profit in 15 hours. That's $2,000 an hour, folks. Okay, so I believe I did my math right. So don't get hung up on that either, because this isn't a job. Jobs pay by the hour, okay? This isn't a job. This is an entrepreneurial activity. This is a business, okay? And that means you got the opportunity to make a lot more than that, okay? But you're trading your spare time, like wasted time generally, watching TV, playing video games, whatever you do. Make a choice, because you can't have it both ways. You can't screw off and waste all your time on bullshit that doesn't make you money, and then somehow magically expect you're going to make money. The world just doesn't usually provide that for people. Every now and then some idiot wins a lottery ticket. Well, good for them. That's not exactly what I would call a business or a retirement plan, buying lottery tickets. So, real estate is a business. It's a profession. It is an entrepreneurial thing, which means you have to put in the time and take risk. Nobody's going to take you by the hand and pat you on the head and cajole you along, because they couldn't care less. In fact, they don't want you to make any money. Your family doesn't want you to make any money. I mean, your relatives and your brothers and sisters, and your parents, they're just trying to get rich quick, They don't want you to do that. They just don't, because it'll make them look bad and feel bad in comparison. So don't look to them unless they're already doing what you're talking about doing, don't look to them for encouragement or support, and let alone, guidance. Look to somebody who's done it. Me, for instance. I've done it for 40 years, off and on, part-time, just like I'm suggesting you all to do. I had a full-time job, I had a family, I had kids, I had, 80-hour-a-week business that I was running, as a real estate agent, and then a construction guy, having my own construction company for remodeling houses. Busy, busy, busy. Yet, I still invested my extra spare time that I had when I wasn't with the kids and baby's mama and whatever, and I went out and I put that time in a way that ended up making me many millions of dollars. And it was from real estate investing, just exactly like I'm telling you right here. Almost every deal I've made is coming from the same kind of sources that we're talking about. Now, we'll go back, we're talking about driving for dollars. That's one of many strategies to find potential deals. This is one anybody can do. You pick your neighborhood, you learn the basics, you go get in your car, that's right, and you go driving. And you drive slow and you look around. And you don't talk and chat and be distracted, or you listen to some radio talk show. You're working, okay? Maybe you can do it 1 hour, 1 day a week, 1 hour, 3 days a week. Maybe you can do it 2 or 3 hours on one weekend day. That adds up. You do that, you're going to be successful. you're going to find a deal. It might not be the first day, might not be the first week, might not be the first month. But sometime you're going to find a deal. And it's going to be like, you're going to look around, you're going to find one and say, wow, the last 40 that I looked and found and analyzed, for one of 100 reasons, they were not available, or you couldn't get them, or the seller wasn't ready to sell, or you couldn't find a seller, or somebody else bought them, or blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Who cares? But then one of them is going to be ding, 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 ding. The seller says, sure, I'll sell it. And there's nobody else around competing with you. And you just made $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 by capturing a low-priced, very discounted deal to a motivated seller that you now locked up. Now, that's how it works, guys. How many of those wasted time ones are you going to be able to do? There's an old saying I like. Think of a bucket of oysters, okay? Not a bucket, but I say a barrel of 1,000 oysters in it, live oysters. And if I guaranteed you that there's a pearl in one of those oysters, guaranteed, in one of those oysters, 1,000 oysters, there's a $10,000 pearl in there. Okay? How many of those pearls would you be, oysters, would you be willing to shuck and tear open and all that crap to check to see if there's a pearl? Throw it away. That didn't have a pearl. Pull another one out. Nope, no pearl in that one. Pull another one out. How many of those would you be willing to do before you quit, knowing that there's a $10,000 pearl in that barrel in one of those oysters? You're going to go through 50, 100? What kind of person are you? Are you a 125 oyster person? Are you a 500 oyster person? Okay, now you're talking. Because your odds go up as you go through, okay, that oyster didn't have one in it. Okay, that's one less that I have to go through now. I'm getting closer to the win. I'm getting closer to the $10,000 payoff. And every one you don't get is weeding through all the chaff out there. Same thing with properties. You just stick with it, and it's amazing how we get so lucky. Everybody looks at us, oh, he's just lucky. Rob's lucky. He always gets the great deals because he's lucky and he's so good looking. Yeah. I get them because I'm tenacious as a bulldog, and I don't take no for an answer, and I don't quit. Yeah, I don't like rejection. I don't like failure. I don't like, working hard and not getting paid. But I know from 40 years of doing it that it's just a matter of time. And the only way I'm not going to make a lot of money and get paid in real estate is if I quit, or I just sit down and don't do anything. Okay, so don't be that person, because you're guaranteed failure. If you don't take action, you're not going to ever make any money. That's a guarantee. That's the only guarantee you're going to get. The other guarantee you're going to get, from me, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. I can't guarantee you're going to get rich. I can't guarantee anything. All I can guarantee you is that if you go out and do these things, the chances and the probability is you're going to win. And it's just a matter of when. How much pain can you take of those little failures and that little unpaid work? How much of that can you take before you quit? And that's the answer you need to ask yourself, because that's going to make the difference whether you make millions of dollars potentially, or die or retire broke where you can't even ever quit working. Okay? All right, so go back and think about what I just said. Get an attitude about this, an attitude of can do. And we'll get more into wholesaling. We'll get more into driving for dollars. We'll get more into all the different strategies of how to find properties and how to do all the stuff that goes after you find one. We'll get into that. But the first thing's got to be in your head. It's got to be your mindset and your heart. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter what strategy you have. I can give you the best tools, the best secrets in the world, and they won't do anything because you can't just put those in a book and put them under your pillow and sleep on it and then wake up rich. Doesn't work that way. All right, guys. Go back, think about this, and we'll see you on the next side.